What's up, Bears fans? We got some news and rumors to get into here on a Friday. But before we do that, help us out. We are closing in on 59,000 subscribers, literally 80 away as we film this. So help a brother out. Let's get to 59K. And remember, once we reach 60,000, we're going to do a live fan-led mock draft. So get to 59,000 first, and boom, the road to 60K is officially here. So go ahead and subscribe, and let's go. You're watching Chicago Bears Now. I am your host, Harrison Graham. And like I said, we got some news and rumors to get into here on a Friday, so let's jump on into it. Let's talk about the Bears front office, Ian Cunningham. It appears that he will be staying with the Chicago Bears under GM Ryan Poles. Report coming in yesterday from Jay Glazer of Fox Sports saying that Cunningham turned down the Cardinals GM opening, and he was also in the mix for the Titans job as well. And unless another GM job opens, that would point to the fact that Cunningham is going to stay in Chicago. Now, here's what Ryan Poles had to say before these developments in terms of Cunningham possibly being gone. He said it would be a big loss, but at the same time, I was prepared for this. Did I think it was going to be less than 12 months? No, but I'm not shocked at all. It's going to be long. It's not going to be long. If it's this year, next year, I have a plan for it, and I feel good about it. Well, it appears, Ryan, that it will be next year, and this is huge for Chicago for a multitude of reasons to have Ian Cunningham, what it would appear like, for another 12 months. The reason this is big, if Cunningham gets a GM job next year or later on, 24, 25, whenever, the Bears would get 2 third-round picks. I initially said that if Cunningham gets hired this offseason, the Bears would get those 2 third-round comp picks. That was actually incorrect, which I corrected for you guys in that video. Clip that part out. With the new rules for a minority head coach or executive being hired, etc., you have to have been with that organization for 2 years. Had he been hired this offseason elsewhere as a GM, he was only with the Bears 1 year. But now, if he gets hired next offseason to be a GM, which there's a great chance he will be, the Bears would then receive 2 third-round comp picks. That is huge, and it's also huge because Ryan Poles wants people he trusts around him for this offseason because we have talked about it. This offseason is monumental for the Chicago Bears. Number 1 pick, tons of cap space. It's big to have Ian Cunningham on board. Could that change if a GM job opens up? Sure, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Now, how hyped are you about Ian Cunningham staying in Chicago? Scale it from 1 to 100. 1 being you're not hyped at all, 100 being very hyped. How could you not be close to 100? You're going to get draft capital in the future, and you have Poles' right-hand man for the biggest offseason in Bears history. I think that's big. Pin comment on today's show. Scale it from 1 to 100. All right, how about this idea? I'm just throwing this out there. This is not being reported. How about hire Greg Roman? Now, not as offensive coordinator. Luke Getsy is still going to be your coordinator. And by the way, Luke Getsy, the head coach for one of the teams at the Senior Bowl. So Bears are going to have a close look at some prospects down there. But Roman and the Ravens parted ways on Thursday as he was their offensive coordinator the past 4 years for Lamar Jackson. Justin Fields has a lot of Lamar Jackson in him. I would hire Greg Roman as a run game coordinator. The Bears don't have a run game coordinator. They have a pass game coordinator. They don't have a running game coordinator. You look at what Baltimore was able to do under Greg Roman running the football, pretty much the staple of running offense the past 4 years, the standard, I should say. 2019 led the NFL with over 200 rushing yards per game. I think that was 50 more than anyone else. 2020, almost 200 yards per game. Last 2 years, the numbers dip, but still third and second in the NFL. And remember, in those 2 years, last year in 21, Lamar missed 5-6 games. And they had numerous running back injuries. Remember, they had Devontae Freeman run the ball late in the year, and he was actually pretty effective. And then this year, Lamar's obviously missed some time as well. Still 160 yards per game, second in the NFL. Behind, ironically, the Bears, who had the best rushing attack in the game. So I'm not sitting here saying this running game is broken and needs more work, but Greg Roman could be an asset for 1 year to be a run game coordinator, and he would be another great resource for Justin Fields, just like he was with Lamar Jackson. Listen, I think there's a misconception about this idea that Lamar Jackson and Greg Roman did not get along. The reason they're moving on is that passing game never got going because Roman's not a great pass game coordinator. He does pretty well with tight ends, but receivers don't like playing there. Again, which is why if you were to hire him, run game coordinator. He can help with some of your run game design, can help with Justin Fields. I'm intrigued by this idea. More on it in a second, as I think he could be a resource for Justin Fields. You know what could be a resource for you? Rocket Money. As Rocket Money is going to help you finance on a monthly basis. Go download the app today, rocketmoney.com/Bears. Now, I've already canceled a couple of subscriptions that I weren't using to save money every single month, and Rocket Money can help you do the same, as this app shows you all of your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know that you were still paying for. You may even find out that you've been double charged for a subscription. To cancel a subscription, all you have to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money will take care of the rest. So get rid of useless subscriptions today with Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. Go to rocketmoney.com/Bears now. That link is in the description of this video. It's rocketmoney.com/Bears now. Rocket Money, going to help you save money. It's saving me tons every single month. So Justin Fields obviously took a step forward, both as a passer and obviously as a runner. But the next step for him is obviously more comfort, more consistency as a passer. I think a lot of that starts with getting the right personnel around him at the wide receiver position and, a little bit better passing offensive line. The passing game is what must improve. That's what a focus for Getsy and Fields needs to be this offseason. But I still think Roman can be an asset here. If you want him to, I'm sure he could get an OC job, and he might. I think 10 teams are still looking for an offensive coordinator right now. But if he doesn't get one, transition year for him, come be the run game coordinator in Chicago, help Justin Fields in this running attack continue to improve. I think that could be a relationship that both parties agree on. Would you hire Greg Roman if the opportunity presented itself? Type H for hire or P for pass. Let us know in the comment section down below. H for hire, P for pass when it comes to bringing Greg Roman on board. Now let's talk about the NFL draft here. Could Chicago trade down twice? There's been a lot of rumors. Trade down with Houston, then trade down again that have circulated in a recent NFL mock draft from the 33rd team, which is mostly run by former GMs, coaches, executives, stuff like that. This is what happened in their most recent mock draft. The Bears traded down to Houston at number 2. Houston moved up to select Bryce Young. Then the Bears also traded down with the Colts from 2 to 4. So Indy got Will Levis. Jalen Carter went number 3 to Arizona. And then Chicago still gets Will Anderson Jr., who I took yesterday, number 1 overall. I did a mock draft yesterday with no trades. Go check that out if you want to. And then C.J. Stroud went number 5. Again, just to recap, 33rd team's latest mock draft. Bears trade down from number 1 to number 2, and then from 2 to number 4. Now, a bit of a flaw in this specific exercise. They didn't show the trade details. They just said Chicago gets a levy of draft picks in these 2 trade downs, which obviously they would. They get a lot of draft capital. Here's my take. The Bears are going to have options. They are. They could keep the number 1 pick. They could trade down with team number 1, team number 2. I think multiple teams are going to be interested. I think there is a scenario like this one where the Bears could trade down twice. I think this scenario is the dream scenario. Trade down with Houston, get 2 and 12, or at least 2 and a couple day 2 picks or something like that. And then trade down again with Indy at 4, and then you still get Anderson or Carter, and you've probably got 4 or 5 extra picks to work with, including potentially an extra 2024 first-round pick. I think that would be the dream. Will that happen? Who knows? But you're going to have options. You're going to have flexibility if you're Ryan Poles. That's why, again, folks, getting the number 1 pick, absolutely monumental. Now, what is your dream Bears draft scenario? I think I just outlined it for me. Trading down twice between 1 and 4, and you still get the 4th pick. I mean, that's the ultimate dream. Is it likely? No. Possible? Yes. I think with having 3 good quarterback prospects in this class, it is possible that that could happen. So let me know, what's your dream draft scenario, or name a dream player that you would like to draft down in the comments section. All right, some quick news that dropped yesterday, just a futures deal. Bears PR announcing that Chicago has signed wide receiver Joe Reed to a reserve futures contract, and you'll see a few more of these come in as, again, in the offseason, Bears can work up all the way to a 90-man roster. Now, Reed, primarily a kick return specialist, was with the Chargers from 2020 through this year. Mostly on the practice squad in 2020. I think he was active for 10 or 11 games and had 20, 25 kick returns. So he's seen a little bit of playing time. Hasn't done anything on offense. So, again, just a special teams type of guy, probably more of a 90-man practice squad type. Did run a 4.47 in 2020 when he was coming out, so some decent speed there as well. But I don't think you're looking at the Justin Fields savior receiver or something like that. All right. Thank you guys so much for the support you guys have been showing us. Again, almost at 59,000 subs. Let's try and get there before the playoff games kick off this weekend, and then the road to 60K and that much closer to a fan-led live mock draft. I can't wait to do that with all of you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun, just as this whole offseason will be. I'm Harrison Graham. We'll see you guys soon. Hope you guys have a great weekend.